Hey everyone, Josh here with Fresh Start Customs, and today I'm going to show you guys 3 different designs from easy to hard on different types of edits that can be done depending on your material thickness and how much editing would actually have to go into it, and why some of these designs are a lot more difficult to edit than what you can think, and why designers are going to actually charge you to anywhere from $20 on up an hour to edit or redesign that design for you if you absolutely have to use a different material thickness. That's why I'll always recommend using the exact material thickness and where it was purchased from that's listed if possible. If you can't and you need to edit it, I'm going to show you how you can do different edits and how it can be difficult and time consuming, and why designers may charge you for that. So we're going to go ahead and start on the easiest one here on the left. This is going to be the snowman. It's a flat layer design. There's not much editing that needs to be done, but any kind of editing for resizing, I'm going to show you that. So we're going to jump in here. As you can see in Illustrator, we have the snowman design that was in question. It's a flat layer design, so literally when you print it off, you're going to just plop this one right on top of this one and line it up correctly, and then you're good to go. You won't have to really change the thickness. But if you want to change like the size of this design, it's super easy. You just highlight both items at the same time, hold shift, and then scale it up just like this. And that's it. And as you can see, I can plop this right on top of each other here after I line it up, and it's good to go. You don't have to change any material thickness settings or slots or anything like that. The only issue that comes into play here is this hole right here is going to scale up or down. So the only issue that you're going to run into with flat layer designs is if there is any type of independent hole or slot that's required. So if we scale this down, that's where it's going to become an issue. So let's say you want to make it this small. That hole became so small that you're going to probably use a needle and thread to hang this design now instead of like a thick twine. And then if you make it bigger, then you can use a lot thicker twine at that point. So that's the only real difficult issue that's going to come into play with flat layer designs. So this is super easy to scale up and down. Don't really have to worry about what material you use since the thickness won't matter. That's why a lot of designers will make just flat layer designs. That way, whenever customers need to edit it, all they got to do is scale up and down. But that kind of hinders their ability to make 3D designs or think outside the box to make really cool, unique designs that you don't see every day. So we're going to start jumping into the more difficult designs. This one is a medium scale difficulty. It's still pretty easy, but if you've never used any editor program before, or you've never actually thought about how thicknesses work, I'm going to show you how to make an edit to this one for material thickness. So this is the Scan Me display. As you can see right here is the display, and this top unit goes into these 2 base slots here. So right now this is set for proof grade 1/4 inch or 1/8 inch material. And then let's say we want to go up to a 1/4 inch material. So what we're going to do is we're going to have to edit these 2 slots here. So I'm going to double click on these, and right now you can see it's on an 1/8 inch. So 0.125. And we're going to change this to a 1/4 inch. But the problem is you're going to have to use a digital caliper. It's a tool that will measure your exact thickness of your material, and if you don't know what that is, I'll put my Amazon shop down below so you can see where to purchase that from. If you don't have one, it's super important. So as you can see here, it's an 1/8 inch, and then we're going to change it to a 1/4 inch. But if you use the digital caliper, my 1/4 inch material is 0.2. Your 1/4 inch material may be 0.19 or all the way up to 0.25 or higher, depending on how thick your veneer is on your 1/4 inch. So, but right now I'm going to just go with 0.2 because that's the thickness of mine, and we're just changing these 2 slots thickness only, so the height only. I'm going to hit enter. As you can see, that got a lot bigger, and I'm going to change these 2 slots now. We're going to change that to 0.25 here. or 0.2. There we go. As you can see, these slots have now increased in the thickness of the material that it should be. And if I line it up there, you can see they stack on top of each other perfectly. And this should technically fall into place. So let me pull this back up. So the thickness of this material is going to be thicker, and it's going to fall perfectly into that slot. And then this will be technically a little bit higher. Now, what you may want to do, because you would also want to change the height of the bottom here. So you could go as far as editing the height so it's perfectly fit on the bottom as well. So technically, you can come in here and you can draw a rectangle here on this. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see what's going on here. And you want to make sure this rectangle perfectly matches the width and the length of this current one here. So I'm going to just go draw it straight on here like this. And as you can see right now, the height is 0.25. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to change this to 0.4 because 0.2 times 2 is 0.4. So that's how thick both of your stacked materials are going to be. So what you're going to do is you're going to hold shift and then you're going to bring that down to about here. You can line it up perfectly if you want to. It's going to take a little bit of time there. But let me see if I can line it up. There we go. So right there is what you want to do is you want to line it up with this, and then this is the extra thickness of the material. So you can move this over and hold Alt and Shift. You can line it up with the other one. And what you want to do is you want to unite this together, but right now this is a group, so I'm going to ungroup this design until I get just the outside unit here. And we're going to hold Shift and select both of these and go to Pathfinder and choose Unite. So as you can see, I united this together, and that is now going to fit perfectly and create this stand perfectly. So the forks of this is going to go all the way to the table. I closed out of that photo. I apologize for that. But the fork of this is going to go down into these two slots all the way down to the table, perfectly level. And that's pretty much it. This design is now edited. So this one is like a medium difficulty here. So we're going to go on to the hard or extreme difficulty here. As you can see, this is just parts of this stand. This is the sticker stand. Let me see if I can pull it up. Yeah, this sticker stand right here, these are just parts of it. So these little trays is the left, center, and then right is off the screen behind this. And then the bottom is this piece right here. And then this piece is the center leg. So this is the outside leg. The center leg has this rounded off edge here. And then I've got all three pieces of this pulled up, which I'll show you in just a second, and where it gets even more complicated. But I'm going to show you quickly. I'm not going to edit this whole thing because this will take probably several hours to edit. I'm going to show you quickly. I've drawn out these blue rectangles. You'll see them pop up here as I expand and show them here. So these blue rectangles represents the current thickness of all these areas. So what we want to do is we're going to have to expand this thickness to your material size. So for example, let's say it's 0.02. You're going to want to expand these tabs out to 0.02. So what we're going to do is we're going to change the height again here since it's sideways to 0.2. I think I said 0.02, but 0.2 is the thickness that we were talking about earlier. And then we're going to move this up here. So what we're going to do, I'm going to zoom in so you can see what's going on here. So if I zoom in, I have this long one just as a guide here, but what you can do is you can grab the direct selection tool here, and you can grab all of your nodes. And like I said, I'm not going to do a full edit. This is going to take a long time to edit. I think I messed that up here. I'm just going to do this one here really quick for you. You're going to grab all your nodes on just the top here, and then you're going to move that up just like that so it matches your material thickness. So you're going to have to do that for literally every single tab that's sticking out, including this one and these down here. And you're probably going to have to do something special for these, which we're going to get to in just a second. But you're going to have to do that for everything. It's going to take a long time. That's what you're going to need to do to edit this file for just the outside tabs. Then we're going to get into the slots, the inside tabs, and the corners. So just for an example here, I've got this inside tab. I need to line this up a little bit better here. There we go. We got this inside tab here. Make that a little bit longer. It won't matter if it goes past. And let's say we want to change this to the 0.2 as well. You can change that to 0.2. It goes that thick. And you can do the same kind of example that I did with the previous one, where you're going to select this outside after you ungroup it. Make sure just the outside is selected. As you can see, just this outside point and not these centers are selected. And then you're going to select the new cutout, and then you can minus the front or the back, depending if it's forward or back. And then that's how you would edit that inside design. It's super quick. That's the easiest way to do it. And you're going to have to do that for all of the slots. So this slot and this slot, it's going to be time consuming. So that's how you do those two edits for like the inside there. Now you're also going to have to change the inside slots, just like we did on that medium stand here. But this one's not too difficult. All you got to do, change the width of the design this time, since it's going up and down. There we go. You change the slots for those. Those aren't too difficult to do because they're just slots themselves. So that one's not bad. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go into the more difficult sections here. The corners are a little bit difficult to edit because you can't just double click on the slot like you can where we just did there, because this is just a single slot. This one's easy to edit. You can just highlight, press 0.2, and there you go. Now the difficult part is going to be the corners here. So the little hack that I've came up with is you just draw on top of your previous edit, like I did with these two light blue ones. You can change your material thickness, and then that's going to cause the overlay that should be on both sides of that material so it doesn't move the actual center gap. And you're going to do the same thing here with the height. And then what you want to do now that it changed, you're going to have to edit that slot just slightly back so it matches this width here of the new design. You'll hold shift, select both light blue, click unite, and you have a new corner here on the exact material thickness that you need. You can then go back in, delete your original that you don't need for the guide, and then you're all set there. So that would be how you would edit the corners and edit an inside slot. Now this is where it's going to get difficult, because once you edit this slot on this slot here, we're going to increase this to 0.2. There we go. That was just an example one that I have. I'm going to delete the original so you don't get confused here. And then I'm going to edit this one as well to the 0.2. And then this is where it causes issues. As you can see, there's now an overlap on this center guide file, and it'll be like that for this left and right too once we place those in. So you're going to have to edit this center guide to come inwards, and you're going to have to edit this outside tab to go outwards to match this. So you're going to line this up, and then you're going to have to do that same direct selection tool that I was doing earlier, where you select the 4 nodes here on the inside, and then you're going to have to move that over like that, and you're going to have to select the 2 outside nodes and move that over to the left like that. And now you have the new center on the left here. We're going to have to do the right side now. There's that, and there we go. So you now have the new centerpiece. So that's how you'd have to do the center. And then you would have to go through and basically piece all this together. You'd have to edit all these center slots here for the center inputs. This outside piece would have to expand a little bit. And then you'd have to do it for all the back slots and all of the edited tabs all the way around. So you can see this could take anywhere from an hour all the way up to 5 hours, depending on how much time it takes to edit, how long you basically have to process each and every individual one. Then after all that's said and done, you have to take into fact that kerf may be different with your material thickness too. So the person that you're editing for would have to then change all of those tabs or slots based on their kerf, or potentially use glue if you're just taking a stab at it. So that's why I usually decline doing edits of this magnitude for people, because a lot of people want it to fit super tight, but I don't have the material of their exact material thickness to test with. So if I ever decline an edit, that's based on the reasoning and rationale on why. And that's also explains why you'll be charged for an edit, because this takes a lot of time to do. It's not as easy as just a $5 file there. The reason why designers will charge like $5 for a design that is supposed to be used the material thickness of is that design can resell over and over. But if you have to redesign that design for everybody's exact material thickness because they're not using the exact material that is listed, then it's just a complete waste of time, and it's not even... That's why a lot of people go out of business and they don't even want to do it anymore. So that's the reason behind all this. That is how you can actually edit all of these different design types. And then the other issue comes into play is I have multiple different versions of this stand. So I would have to edit each individual version for different material thicknesses as well. So that's something to just think about, and what you want to do is probably use the exact material that's listed. If it's a little bit thinner, then you should be on the safe side and you should be able to glue it together if it's just a little bit loose. But if you're going thicker, like we did in that example, it's definitely going to be time consuming, and I hope this video kind of showed you a quick, brief summary of all the different things that you're going to have to do and different ways that you can do those types of edits. So that's pretty much it, you guys. I know this was a little bit longer of a video and a little bit more in depth and behind the scenes that you'll never see on other videos. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys took the time to look at all of it and absorb all of this here. If you have any other questions, feel free to comment below. I'll try to answer what I can, and we'll go from there. We'll see you guys in the next video. We'll talk to you then.